All right, guys, we're back. Hold up. We're back with another episode. Look at that. Hey, I want to apologize. Last week we took a break, and for good reason. For good reason. We come back. We've come back stronger. We've come back more ready to charge topics. So it's just something that me and my team decided that we were going to do. I was going to release an episode for those of you who saw it on my Instagram feed, but I decided that it wasn't. There was something about it that I just didn't like, so I decided to take a break, and I apologize for that. Next week, I'll try and push out 2 episodes to repay my debt. Before we go in, for those of you who don't notice, there's something different. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell, but maybe you can. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. No, I'm joking, guys. I changed my desk out, so that's what it was. Um, no, I'm joking again, guys. See, I'm so funny. I'm so funny. You know what makes me funny is the fact that I'm not funny and I call myself funny. That's what makes people funny. If you can do that, like I should really do stand-up comedy. That's what I should do. I don't know what I'm doing here on this podcast. I should do stand-up comedy. Let me know what you think in the comments, okay? Stand-up comedy or educational podcast, opinion podcast. I don't call it controversial. But that brings us to our topic for today, but I'll wait one sec. Do I do this, guys? Like, let me know. Maybe I go and do stand-up. I feel like I'm a pretty funny person, maybe not. I just, so let me know. Let me know in the comments. Should I sit like this? Or do I look to mastermind, evil, boss planning to destroy the world? Sitting. Let me know. Okay? Interactive. We're being interactive here. What else do I have going on in my life? Nothing. Guys, I do have my license, though, and I went to an event and I won a cake. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to do. I won a cake, a chocolate cake. I thought I was going to get caked in the face. And honestly, I was all for it, okay? But I didn't. And the cake was actually really good. I tried not to eat it, but at the end of the event, I took my spoon and I scooped it in the cake and I ate a bite and I ended up having like 3 more bites. It was horrible. Horrible mistake I made. I was doing so good. And then all of a sudden, I take a bite of this cake and it's wonderful. And now I don't know what to do. So I had some great conversations though. Guys, we have some big stuff coming up. I'm going to get into it in just a minute. We have some big stuff coming up soon. More to come. Okay? Had a great conversation with some great teachers and coaches as well. And we're going to be setting something up. So this is going to be coming in the future. I don't know if it's going to be a year out. We're going to be running a test run coming soon. But I don't know if it's a year out. I don't know if it's not going to happen after the test run. We're going to see. But guys, point is big things are coming. Okay? So get involved in the groups. Get involved. I'm going to say this now because I say this at the end and then no one ever watches to the end. Which, by the way, is okay. I tell people this. I don't need you to watch the whole video. Okay? I don't. Like, I'm not here to ask you to watch whatever. I believe this video, I'm going to try and keep 20 minutes. But normally they're like 40 to 50 to an hour. I don't even watch episodes for that long. So I'm not offended by people saying that. And I always think it's funny. So anyways, I'm going to get these announcements out of the way now. Follow social medias. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. TikTok, I'm not very active on. To be honest, guys, I hate posting on TikTok. I think it's so unfortunate. And I think that it's so hard for no reason. So I don't do it, okay? But I do post on Instagram a lot. I do Twitter. I took a little bit of a gap from, but Twitter I'm posting on. There's a lot of different areas. So get involved. I have links in all my social media pages. Get involved. Click on the links you have. You can interact with me personally, not sent to my team, sent to me, and we can have conversations. I have an email. I have a comment section on there. Mission statement coming out. So there's a lot of stuff happening. Okay, guys. So I want to get that out of the way before I get into the episode. So that way, if you're 10 minutes in and you decide, Caden, you're not that funny, I'm going to go do something else with my life. I get it, okay? But at least I got the big important things out of the way. So, another thing. Normally, we've been posting every Friday by 12. So, by the afternoon. But we're changing that, okay? We're doing Friday at an inconsistent time. And there's a reason for that. 2 reasons. 1, It gives me and my team a little bit more time to edit videos to get things in order, okay? 2, because I can do whatever I want, okay, guys? So it's just Friday. Friday, be ready. You'll get the notification. It'll be around 12, okay? So just know that. Know that. Be confident. Trust. And you guys are my people. So, okay. Anyways, let's get into it. So we saw the topic for today. Controversies, okay? We're going to be breaking down. We're going to try and be quick today because I don't want to be here all day either, okay? And I want to get this information out because I think it's important, but I know that people have other things to do too. So let's talk about controversy, okay? So we have 3 different topics today. We're going to talk about why is controversy so popular in our society, okay? We're going to talk about a fun segment of what was America's prime, when was America's prime, okay? And then we're going to talk about, are we addicted to outrage? Has our society come to a point where we crave outrage? We crave the dopamine rush. All things, all great questions, all great categories, okay? We're going to talk about them all. We're going to try and hit them and be good, okay? So we're planning 20 minutes, 25 minutes, okay? So getting off to it, okay? We gotta acknowledge the fact that algorithm rewards controversy. It rewards issues, okay? So when one person sees something controversial, Nick Fuentes is a great example. They see him saying all these words, saying the N-words, saying all these outrageous comments and opinions. People like this, not because they agree necessarily, but because it's exciting. There's controversy. People love it. It's like when you fight. Some people like to fight. And the reason being is because you get a dopamine rush, right? And you feel like you're doing something important, like you're fighting against something. So people love this feeling, right? Now, some people have throwing fists, and some people like sitting on their couch and watching social media and laughing at other people making outrageous comments. All things that are real, okay? Negative emotions spread faster than positive emotions. Think about that. Negative emotions spread faster than positive ones. When people are more outraged by negativity, people actually take longer to acknowledge positive feedback, positive opinions, positive emotions, right? They take longer to do this because we're designed by nature to respond very quickly to negative comments, negative things. So we have to. Sorry, guys. I know that was so horrible. I don't know. That's like the first time that's ever happened. We have to. See, guys. Now I'm off track. Anyways, negative emotions. They bring out this rage in us, right? And we are designed to respond accordingly. That's the truth. We are designed to respond accordingly. So we have to understand this, and this is a big piece, and people don't get that. People don't think negative social media is not going to, outrage me to the point where I pay more attention to it. But it's true. It's true. Okay. Conflict builds. I had put down tribal identity, and I had to define tribal. And tribal, it's not a word I'm super familiar with. Okay, and obviously I know what it means, but not to the point where I could use it in a statement. So I would say it defines identity in general. The whole point of tribal was group identity, right? It defines, it builds an identity of a group. It builds someone's identity, and then people adopt this identity. So that was my point on that, and that's true. When we talk about this is bad, people respond accordingly, and they want to be a part of something that feels exciting, new, right? Dopamine addicted people. That's the truth, and we're all at fault of this, ladies and gentlemen. This is not just me. This is not just you. This is not just one person. This is everyone. Everyone has their ways. The gym is a dopamine rush for some. Right? Conflicts, dopamine for others. Fighting, dopamine for others. There's different ways that people feed their dopamine into their system, their brains. Calm content, calm content gets ignored, right? When I sit up here, and I'm not using this as the excuse for whatever. I'm just saying when I sit up here, the last thing I want to do is be controversial, right? And I'm going to get into why that is. But the last thing I want to do is be controversial. I don't want to push people away. I want to bring everyone in. Now, unfortunately, I still am controversial. I don't know how, because I don't even talk about names. I don't even really bring up people. I brought up Nick Fuentes, but I think we can all agree that he's... you guys get what I'm saying, okay? So I keep it very neutral, and I still get attacked, and that's okay. That's okay. But imagine if I was controversial. I'm being neutral, and I still get attacked. If I was controversial, this would be a completely different thing, right? It's so easy for someone to come on social media and say this is bad and this is horrible and you're a bad person if you agree in this, and you need to do this, you need to do that, and all of these things. People are going to get mad and they're going to comment, right? And that's the whole point of algorithm feeds. It rewards engagement of negative content, right? When someone says, cut all the trees down. When someone says this, you're going to have people commenting, yeah, cut the trees down. We need more wood, right? Lower housing prices. That's a serious thing. Lower housing prices. Remove government involvement in how we treat our forests, right? And then you're going to have people who say, this is bad. The earth's dying. We need more oxygen. We're slowly killing ourselves and going extinct, right? Those are two different topics within the claim of cutting down the trees, right? Okay, we can agree on that. So when people do this, the algorithm doesn't see comments. It doesn't see negativity. What it sees is 100 comments and 600 likes. That's what it sees. And the more likes you get, the more it's going to push it out to other people, right? Because the algorithm's going to assume that this post is entertaining. It's going to assume that the post is entertaining, and it's going to make people get involved, like the video, interact, and enjoy TikTok and Instagram and these social media platforms. That's what algorithm is, to my understanding. So when you're controversial, which is okay, we need people to head collide with controversy. We need people to I'm trying to think of the word, to acknowledge it, if you will, right? To talk about it. But to what level is it inappropriate, right? Because there is an inappropriate level. And we see on a lot of podcasts today that this is what people rely on. And we'll find that the people who are the calmest, the people who are trying to be neutral, are going to have a harder time growing. That's the truth. But it doesn't mean you should become controversial, right? It's like the saying, if your friend jumps off the bridge, jumps off the bridge, are you going to jump off the bridge, right? If 100 podcasters go to be controversial, does that mean that you're going to corrupt your morals and what you believe, as well as also irritate other people because it's the trend? Or are you going to stick to your morals, stick to respecting other people and having common sense, and stay somewhat neutral and try and push conversation through a non-controversial way, right? These are all things to think about. And I think that people do think about this, but they forget the main point of starting these things. Rage bait is also a business thing now. I saw a guy on TikTok. His page is literally about rage baiting. That's what his page is about. Like that's the most ridiculous thing. Sure, it's smart, right? He's making plenty of money. But gosh, it's such a disappointing thing. Like, this is what your life has come to, is making people so mad, they're going to call the cops. They're going to put restraining orders on you. And we laugh about it. And I think it can be entertaining to a extent. But when you have to get law enforcement involved, when you have to actually be in trouble and be banned and face repercussions, come on, guys. Come on. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So anyways, so to sense this up, people share what shocks them. People share what's controversial, what gets them at their tipping point, whether that be towards a rebellion, toward feeling rebellious, or that be towards arguing. Okay? These are both things that people peak when they feel that dopamine rush in this world. So Questions, right? Question. And I'd love to hear what you have to say too. What do you think about this? Do you think controversy is good? Do you think that our society has so much controversy that it needs to be faced, right? It needs to be conversed. Or do you think opposite? Do you think we have so much controversy we should focus on the good? We should focus on the things that are good in life right now. Right? Questions. Okay, moving on. And I love this. This was fun. When was America in its prime? When was America in its prime? A great question. When was America in its prime? You know, I've been asked this question a few times, and I think it's very situational. I think it depends on who you are, right? For Christians, best time was Jesus' Revolution, right? I mean, that was when the most people were coming to Christ. I mean, you were finding Christ followers everywhere. People who used to rebel against the system coming to the truth, right? And then you had the people who believe in industry, or the people who believe in government restriction. You have all these different timelines in America, and depending on who you are, depends on your opinion on when America was in its prime. When do I think America was in its prime? I think it was probably the 90s. Probably the 90s, right before 9/11. I would say that decade right there was probably one of our best decades. One of the best decades we had. And the reason being is because we were out of the Cold War. We had proven that we were the dominant force in the world. We were the best country, period, end of story. And we still are. But at the time, people knew it, okay? And people knew this, right? We were finding some of the best rates. We were finding, empowerment in all societies, right? Everyone was thriving. And then 9/11 hit, and we went into the Patriot Act, and amongst a few other things, and that is when it went downhill, right? That is when the rhetoric of pushing the controversy, the negativeness, became the new popular. That's when we started to separate as a society in toleration. Okay? So define what prime is. Well, prime, in my opinion, it doesn't mean perfect. It doesn't mean society is perfect. No society is perfect. There's always flaws. It means that we were the closest to being dominant in production, dominant in military, dominant in society in general, right? Everyone looked up to us. I think there's so many things, right? We were efficient in development. We were finding the highest birth rates, right? A consistent wage, right? Home ownership. I mean, there's so many categories when you put it into a country as a whole. But I would say the three is birth rate, faith, and dominance. I think those are the three. I think those are what really primes a country. That's why, again, I think the 90s were one of the best times. I don't know the birth rates of the 90s. I don't know the statistic on that, but I'd imagine that they were pretty good. And I know that faith was really good at that time. So the next question is, for me, was, well, what about post-World War II? And people are going to be like, what the heck, right? There were so many issues that were happening. I don't say this from a societal standpoint. I say this from an industrial standpoint. During World War II, we went into a total lock-in, as the young generation would say. And we were pushing for this, and we needed weapons, we needed ammunition, we needed vehicles, we needed planes, we needed it yesterday, right? So we put up these factories, we actually took over factories, and we started fast production. Well, after World War II, once it ended, we had all these factories, right? We had all these people who had been, 12-hour days and bang, 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 right? And these people were now just, right? We didn't have to, print planes like it was no tomorrow, and build cars and do ammunition and weapons and food, right? MREs. We didn't have to do all these things. So we had these people, and we found a lot of industrial power through this. I don't know the statistics on it, so don't quote me. But I believe that it relayed a lot of industrial power, and we found a lot of efficiency. Now, through time, things changed, which some for the better. But my point being is that I wanted to reflect on that. Do I think it was the best time? No, I don't think it was prime, but I think it was a prime industry. I think the most important thing in a country is its production, right? Its exports. That's money. Money, 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 money. So, imports can be too, right, with tariffs. But exports are big, and they bring a lot of money, private money, back to private companies, back to people. I don't care about the government. They make their wage. They can make their wage from our taxes. Too bad they're where they are right now. But normally, our government was designed to make wages off of our taxes and donations. Interesting fact, there used to not be taxes. For those of you who don't know, America, the Americans, the revolutionists, did not like taxes. I don't know if you remember Boston Tea Party. I don't know if you remember all the revolution. The taxes, they did not like them. It was originally based off donations. Well, that wasn't good enough. But they weren't making enough money. See, guys, I'm already at 21 minutes. This is horrible. Anyways, they weren't making enough money. So they didn't want to do they didn't want to do taxes, but they ended up doing them. They were really low. But anyways, interesting things. I think people were actually happier, though, meaning in the 90s, relaying back to the 90s. I know it was off topic. Back to the 90s, I think people are actually a lot happier. I think the success rate was higher. I think wages were better. I mean, there were so many different things. And there's always going to be something that's not good. There's always going to be something that's not perfect. Okay, guys? Just saying. Just saying. Really quick, though. I don't like these lights. I feel like I'm being blinded right now. Like my eyes, I feel like they're being blinded. Anyways, the last question that peaks, is our prime ahead of us? And what I mean by this is, are we going to see a better year, a better century, not a century, I mean century, yeah, would be great, but I'm going to say a better decade ahead of us? I think we will. I don't think that we're totally doomed. I think that the controversial people and the politicians want to say that we're doomed. I don't think we're doomed. I think we're gonna find a way. I have faith. And I think that we're gonna really find another prime, a prime better than before. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. We had a prime before we had technology so advanced. I mean, we had the internet. When was the internet? We had the computer. I don't know when the internet was created. But point being is, now we have AI. We have the internet at its most advanced yet. We have the peak transportation, right? We're coming back into somewhat of a prime, what could be a prime industrial America. We're bringing cars, we're bringing manufacturing back to America. And whether you like politicians or not that are involved in that, that's a good thing, and we can agree on that. Brings more jobs, right? Oh, well, but the people over in the other manufacturing areas, they're being poisoned. Oh, so we're gonna. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into that, guys. I said 20 minutes to 25 minutes. Okay, moving on. Are we addicted to outrage? That's the final question from this podcast. Yes, we are. We're not addicted to outrage. We're addicted to dopamine. We're addicted to controversy that creates dopamine. That is why we like rage baiting, because it mimics this environment of threat, of anger, because you're making someone mad. Now, obviously, that person's not going to attack you, because usually you rage bait friends, right? There's a few people who attack randoms. But point being is, yes, we're addicted to dopamine. We're a dopamine society. We have the internet. We have Instagram. We have TikTok. We have YouTube Shorts, right? We have all of the Instagram Reels. We have all of these things that create short dopamine, and we crave it. We crave it. So, yes, I do think that we are addicted to controversy, to outrage. But I think we're addicted to dopamine. That's what I think it is. Drama builds audience faster. Yes, yes. And I wrote that down for the reason being that it's true, but drama, everyone loves drama, right? We see the Kardashian show, Sirhan. We see all these shows that have drama and we love it, right? Because we get to enjoy it. We get a little bite of it and it doesn't stress us. Come on, guys. Right? Come on. So, all these things. But I would end it with saying, are we entertained or manipulated? And I'm going to answer this, but I want you to answer it first. It's one of the two. It's one of the two. You're either entertained to the point where you're going to vote for them, or you're going to like their post, or you're manipulated to support a movement, to support a page, an idea that attacks people. So what is it? Okay, guys, there we go. We did it. 26 minutes. Thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of the video if you did. I don't know how you did it, but that's okay. And cheers to the future. Big things coming, and I'm excited. I'm excited. Super grateful for you guys. You guys are my motivation. You guys are my motivation. So I will talk to you soon. Hopefully 2 episodes next week. Cheers. Follow on pages. Get involved. We have community pages too. Get involved. We're going to be posting soon. We needed to get a little bit more rolling. So let's do it. Let's do this, guys. All right. Everyone have an awesome day. Bye.